on behalf of the Department of Textile Engineering, Faculty of Technology and Engineering, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to today's expert talk. We are privileged to have among us a distinguished speaker from the industry, Mr. Ankur Thorat, who will be enlightening us on the topic Birla Cellulose, shaping India's Manmade Cellulosic Fibre growth and category management. To commence this event with a warm gesture, I now invite Dr. Hirani, Associate Professor, to kindly extend a floral welcome to our esteemed guest, Mr. Ankur Thorat. I now request Dr. Satyajeet Chaudhari, Head of the Department, to present a shawl as a token of appreciation to our guest speaker on behalf of the Department. Thank you, sir. Now, I request Dr. Satyajeet Chaudhari to kindly deliver the welcome address.
So, good evening. So, I heartily welcome Ankur sir. Ankur sir, introduction, it will come that he is our alumnus of 2003 batch. He is a diploma and degree student. He was a diploma and degree student over here, and now he is heading Birla. So he will tell everything that related to his topic. But I welcome you all with your busy schedule. From tomorrow, Bunk is going to get started. When I was talking with him, that he was also telling that yes, કર્મ ભોગવવું તો પડશે જ. એટલે હું પણ એટલે બધા સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ એવા જ હોય કે થોડોક બંકનો પણ મજા અલગ હોય. તો હું બધાનું સ્વાગત કરું છું આ કાર્યક્રમમાં, પ્રોગ્રામમાં. સર, then let us start a program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now my privilege to introduce our speaker for the day, Mr. Ankur Thorat, who is currently the category head of Womenswear and Menswear at Birla Cellulose, which is a part of Aditya Birla Pulp and Fibre business. Mr. Thorat is currently spearheads various initiatives in business development, branding, brand positioning, and cluster strategy. He joined the Aditya Birla Group in 2015, bringing with him extensive leadership experience across marketing, sales, and branding. He is an alumnus of our department and also holds an MBA in marketing. Over the course of his distinguished 20 years of corporate journey, he has made significant contribution to renowned textile corporations such as Raymond and Arvind Limited. His accolades include the Aditya Birla Group Chairman Award, the Aditya Birla Pride Award, and the Business Achiever Award at Raymond Limited. We are truly honored to have him with us today. I now invite Mr. Ankur Thorat.
Okay, good afternoon. Do I need a mic or I'm audible till the last row? Yeah. Great. So any session after a lunch session, I know it's very difficult. And you have an uphill task from tomorrow. Bunk chalu ho raha hai. So I was telling Satyajeet sir ki in my colleges I was a part of the bunk team. So don't worry about it. They just relax. So this session is more interactive, less of gyan, more of future ready. Everybody wants a career. Somebody of you would be entrepreneurs. Somebody of you would be doing research. So the session today is not about technical know-how. The session today is how the world is changing in textiles. The session today is not about production planning and control. It's not about R&D. Of course, it has a very, very important role to play. Technical services has a very important role to play. But having said that, today's session is all about a global know-how, how the landscapes are changing, how products are changing, how marketing is changing, right? So most of you, I'll request all of you, whatever questions you have, you can interrupt me, you can ask. There are no right or wrong questions. Don't be worried, कोई judge नहीं कर रहा है आपको. So there are no right or wrong questions. Whatever comes to your mind, please ask, right? So कोई उसमें nobody is going to judge you. ठीक है? Neither me, neither your professors. ठीक है? So जो last वाला है, can you just थोड़ा आगे आ सकते हैं? Don't worry, मैं questions ही पूछूंगा. Please come ahead. Okay, that's me. I had a brief introduction. Your colleague introduced me very, very early, so I'll just skip this slide. What I'm trying to go through is the Aditya Birla Group, which is about 3 lakh crore group. We have touched a market cap of $100 billion this last fiscal year, and we are venturing heavily into the paints industry. So, as I told you, the world is changing. Every moment, every day, the world is changing. So, how do we cope up with the world? अभी जो आपके final year के students थे, 2 of them got absorbed in Birla Cellulose, and they'll be, I'm pushing that they'll be given a marketing profile, right? I don't know if they like it or not, but then, yeah, this is what I'm pushing, because that's the future. That's the future of textiles, that's the future of any industry now. So, we as Aditya Birla Group are into various segments. I'll just skip this slide. Let's go to the topic that interests you. Job कहाँ है? या entrepreneurship, या trading, या research, कौन से sector या कौन से department में है? So if you see above you above the slide, the traditional profiles which were existent or still exist, where production engineers, logistics, supply chain, बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया तो designing, right? But today's scenario is completely different. Most of you might be absorbed in the production line, or maybe you have an inclination towards marketing or brand, but profiles are swiftly changing. So how many of you have heard of category management? Fairly. Brand management, sales and marketing. Sales and marketing सुना है ना?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm not so happy to break this news to you. Sales and marketing is 10-year-old concept. So that was when probably I was halfway through my career. That's a 10-year-old concept, sales and marketing. So now sales and marketing has completely different arms. Global marketing, global sales, global product management, Indian product management, India as a country, or SAARC as a region. So what I wanted to tell you is कि ये जो red वाले highlight किए ना, that are the profiles that you should be working towards. I'm not saying वो class बंद करते रहिए, technical पढ़ते रहिए. I'm not saying that it's not good for your career. It is definitely. It creates a strong base for your future profiles. But ये सारे profile है जो probably नहीं सुने होंगे. So it's high time that you guys start working towards it. So how many of you are thinking of starting their own business? कोई है? Who wants to start his or her own business? Job कौन करना चाह रहा है? Okay. So there is nothing wrong. So don't worry about it. There is nothing wrong if you are pursuing job. मैं भी job ही कर रहा हूँ. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with pursuing a job, right? Okay. PhD, research scholars कोई करना चाहता है research आगे, M.Tech और research. Okay. Industry diversify कौन करना चाहता है? Who wants to go out of textiles? Nobody is going to judge you, so just let's make this agreement to be honest with each other. Okay, कोई नहीं है, good. India में
कोई बोलता नहीं है, पर सब डाइवर्स कर लेते हैं.
So वही, so let's get this to an agreement कि यहाँ कोई जज नहीं कर रहा है बस, ठीक है? Everybody is responsible for their own career. Nobody is going to come to help you. Everybody is going to support you. बट अल्टीमेटली आप लोगों पे है, राइट? सो मैं यहाँ पे कितना भी लेक्चर दे दूँ या सत्यजीत सर, मंकुड़ी मैडम, प्रज्ञा मैडम, डॉक्टर स्वीटी, I'll take a liberty of calling her Dr. Sweety because she was my batchmate. So ठीक है, there's nothing wrong in it, huh? So don't worry about it. So any questions over this slide? You want to know more about where your careers are going to be, because currently production में mills are started recruiting BSc people, obviously because of the pay scales, lower pay scales that they are ready to work on, right? So थोड़ा खुद को भी develop करना पड़ेगा आप सबको. Any questions? So this is what जो भी फाइनल ईयर वाले कोई हैं तो, या थर्ड ईयर वाले कोई है, एनी क्वेश्चंस ऑन क्या होता है न्यू टेक, वैप क्या होता है, वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स? या प्लीज
What do you, what is market intelligence? I have some brief idea, but I'm not very sure.
So market intelligence is something that whenever you launch a product, let's say textiles, फैब्रिक्स है या यार्न है या इनफैक्ट फाइबर है जो हमने किया है, वी मैप दैट व्हाट इज द मार्केट साइज, दैट्स वन. उसके ऊपर से बिजनेस प्लान बनता है कि इतने एक्सपांशन की जरूरत है, प्रोडक्शन कितना चाहिए, वेदर देयर इज अ डिमांड सप्लाई गैप, वेदर हाउ मच कॉटन इज बीइंग कंज्यूम्ड इन इंडिया. लेट्स से अगर इंडिया का प्लान है तो इंडिया में कितना बन रहा है, कौन से फाइबर को या कौन से फैब्रिक या कौन से प्रोडक्ट को काउंटर करेंगे. So that is all a part of market intelligence.
So it's much more than surveying.
It's much more than surveying. So to start with, any survey for textiles will get you in touch with the National Household Survey of India. So हर 5 साल में NHS डेटा निकलता है, पब्लिश्ड डेटा होता है. It's 2000 pages of raw unfiltered data, which people like me who are into category management, business development या market intelligence, they sort it कि let's say जब हमने 10 साल पहले ब्रांड लॉन्च किया था लीवा करके, I don't know how many you have heard, maybe the ladies would have heard. So उसमें हमने ये किया था कि इंडियन कंज्यूमर, इंडियन विमेन कंज्यूमर कितनी कुर्तीज कंज्यूम करता है ऑन अ, so there is a per capita consumption of garments also in India. It is relatively very low global index से, but it's around 4.6. So 4 pairs of kurti on an average is what a woman buys in an entire year. So global average is about 9.5. यहाँ पे हो सकता है ज़्यादा बाय कर रहे हो मैडम, बट इंडियन एवरेज इंडेक्स इज 4.5. So all that comes to market intelligence.
Then what is category management?
So category management is something So it's not only about spinning, weaving. It's not about the technical management. It is about mapping the Indian clusters. कहाँ पे कौन-कौन से लोग क्या प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं? Not audible?
पीछे कुछ बातें कर रहे हैं इसलिए.
Okay. Hello. Audible? Okay. So category management is about starting from that NHS data and which product to develop. Is there a market to it? How to develop a brand? How to market a brand? How to go into different clusters and forms of advertising. That let's say वाराणसी में हमने शुरू किया था वो 6-7 साल पहले. तब it was all कि जा के घर पे मिलना पड़ रहा था. Now it is all app based, Instagram based. तो ये venturing into each cluster and developing an entire product portfolio. That's how category management works. So any brand to launch, it can take at least a year, maybe 6-7 years also. Okay. So this is what the textile market is. About Indian textile market. I'm not going globally क्योंकि फिर थोड़ा ज़्यादा boring हो जाएगा. Too much of data hangover हो जाएगा. So $184 billion is the Indian textile market. Any questions on this? See, normally the textile market is divided into two segments. One is of course domestic and exports, but more importantly apparels जो हम लोग सब पहनते हैं, and second is technical textiles. So ये दो में it is mostly these two, and then there are made ups which is primarily home textiles. So this is how any market report would describe that these are the various products. इतने tons consume होते हैं, इतने fabric meterage consume होता है. This is an interesting slide. Just pay attention to this. So this is what our Indian market total production is. 26,179 tons per day. ठीक है? Because $1 billion में ना मुझे समझ में ना रहा है. I'm sure. This is something that we as textile engineers should relate to. Tons per day of manufacturing of fibers. So India market is about 26,000 tons per day. जिसमें से ये जो yellow highlighted है, उसके नाम तो सुने होंगे हम सर. Cotton, cellulosic fiber, polyester. So the staple cellulosic fiber is what we as Birla Cellulose produce. It constitutes of about 6 to 8% of the market. But we as Birla Cellulose have 92% market share in India. So almost a monopoly. So anyone have heard of a viscose fiber? Yes. Okay. Have heard, right? So we are there. Okay, great. So viscose is a part of Manmade Cellulosic Fibre family, and it's now one of the fastest growing fibers. Of course, I'm not here to market viscose. I'm here to market MS as university, but yeah, it's one of the fastest growing fibers with 13% CAGR growth rate. 13% growth rate से grow हो रहा है वो globally also and India में also. Where do I take a photo? You can. This is again what are the categories or applications which are prevalent in India? So this is by weight, and sari and kurti, obviously women's wear, are mostly consumed in India as per weight. So out of that 26,000 tons per day, this is what is the breakup. Any questions over this? Guys, please be free, or else it would be a one-way traffic. Any questions? Furnishing, who also? Then I'll have to start asking questions then.
You ask questions.
Right. So, how many of you know furnishings? Furnishing is your जो पर्दे लगते हैं ना घर में, that is mostly it is all, yeah, so पर्दे लगते हैं plus ये जो है सारा, this is all furnishing. Rugs and carpets, पता है. धोती, should I go to another slide?
Sari consumption has been increased recently or earlier?
It was always there, but it did not get that vantage point. It was always there. So, when you categorize, ma'am, into different consumption patterns, 23% includes polyester nylon sarees, polyester sarees, viscose blended sarees. So, साड़ी हमेशा से ही था, साड़ी and धोती has gone down drastically in the last 7 years, but साड़ी was always there. And for normally यहाँ पे भी देख रहा होगा, shirting जो है, shirting and trouser का ratio ये है that for every one pair of trouser or a pant, men will buy 2 shirts. So that's the ratio. तो मोटा मोटी वही 10-11 का है. तो knit leggings, who all knows? You know, right? थोड़ा हाँ जोर से, खाना खाया है ना सबने? Okay, great. So now Birla Cellulose will evaluate you in terms of your pitch of your voice. Next year in campus interview, I am coming. Right? ये साल तो मेरा colleague आया था. But yeah, I know Satyajeet sir has the pictures of all of you, right? So I am coming next year. Guys, अभी तक Birla Cellulose is the highest package.
Yes.
Right? So थोड़ा बहुत motivation है उसमें, right? At least package में. ज्ञान मान सब साइड में है, बस पैसा कितना मिलेगा? Okay, great. So when we see this, the cellulosic fiber is growing at about 30-35%. बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Let's skip to the pictorial, more pictorial slide. Anybody knows what is canopy rating? No. So canopy is an agency, is a global agency. ये वैसे नो का वॉइस बहुत लंबे से आया. So canopy rating is a global agency which certifies a fiber company, normally a fiber and a yarn company, as to how sustainable they are. So they have these parameters of 34 to 36. That is what they call hot buttons, but they are basically parameters in which they'll classify any company, that how good or how sustainable is that company, right? So Birla Cellulose ranks number 1 in global with about 34. अभी 32.5 लिखा है, but we have just got a certification of 34 hot buttons of canopy. Right, so we are globally number one, and we are India's pride in becoming a global number one for cellulosic fibers.
What is the highest that number canopy?
Canopy is 36.
36, but what is the highest range? What is the range?
36 is the highest. यानी कि
36
so it
is the highest.
can be 0 to 36.
0 to 36.
Yeah.
and 36 गुण मिलते हैं
36 में 36 गुण.
That means 36 means 100%.
Yes. And वो लोग क्या करते हैं सर कि they give us a shirt का image जैसे ये है ना, so that is called dark green shirt. So if you are qualified as dark green shirt, that means you are highly sustainable. And उसके साथ में parallelly एक rating होती है which is 34. I mean 36 तक होती है, we are 34. So globally 34 से ऊपर किसी को मिला नहीं है. And world number 2 is our competitor, which is called Lensing. So, but we are globally number 1 by having a 28% market share in man-made cellulosic fiber globally.
Sir, they have audit programs in your company?
Yes, they do. और संतोष सर आप मेरे को सर मत बोलिए, you were my senior, so संतोष sir was my senior. Okay, so these are the fibers that we as a company manufacture. Okay, I'll just have to pick few guys. The guy with the red shirt, red t-shirt. यहाँ आ जाइए ना. Can some crack a interesting joke maybe?
Bag into the bag into the
Ma'am, you also want to come? Please. Okay. Okay, so either we have it interactive or then I'll pick and choose few of you, right? So it depends upon you. So these are the fibers. How many of you know modal as a fiber? Good. So some of our marketing is working. But yeah, jokes apart, modal is a second generation man-made cellulosic fiber. Third generation is Excel, which is lyocell. And fourth generation are fibers with sustainability footprints, which is Liva Eco. Right? So Liva Eco as a fiber comes with tracer inside. So most of the brands, global brands and Indian brands, now ask for traceability. Any of you know traceability as a term? Should I take 2 minutes to explain? So traceability is something which gives the birth story and the life story of a fiber. So if a fiber has a traceable path, on a scanning of a QR code, the customer will get to know the journey of the entire fabric or the garment. So right from viscose comes from wood pulp. So right from कौन से forest से आया है. We have our plantations in Canada and Sweden. So Canada में कौन से hectare से, कौन से forest से आया है, कौन से plant में उसका fiber बना है. What are the logistics and the lead time that fiber has or that fabric has followed. वो सारा कुछ are the traceable options that are available for the consumer to see. So any fiber with a traceable or traceability option will have the entire life story of how that fabric was made. Secondly, it also has an additional certification called Forest Stewardship Council, FSC. इसका मतलब ये है कि कोई भी endangered forest को कट नहीं किया है. Right? So traceability also comes with our own indigenously developed application called Green Track, जिसमें कौन से स्पिनर ने लिया था वो भी पता चल सकता है. So कौन से स्पिनर ने लिया है, कितना टनेज लिया, whether it is classified or certified to be an FSC fiber or not. तो वो सारा भी traceability से पता चलता है. Right? So guys, on a serious note, the world is changing. Right? Spinning में अच्छे मार्क आए, great. But then you should all start working on the traceability, circularity, sustainability. Right? So this will help you only, right? We all are here to support you, your professors, me. But then it is up to you.
Plantation purpose and the source purpose, why you have selected the Sweden and Canada, not
So
locally India?
वहाँ पे उसमें क्या होता है सर कि गवर्नमेंट लाइसेंसिंग भी होती है. सो इंडिया में द गवर्नमेंट लाइसेंसिंग इज नॉट सो फेयर इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्टेट लाइसेंसिंग ऑल्सो. जैसे हमारे प्लांटेशंस कर्नाटका में है. सो इट हैज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू डू विद गवर्नमेंट लाइसेंसिंग ए, बट इवन इम्पोर्टेंट देन दैट इज द क्लाइमेट. सो कनाडा एंड स्वीडन में क्योंकि यूकेलिप्टस एंड बीचवुड ट्रीज जिससे बनता है उसको पानी बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए. सो प्लांटेशंस के लिए, ग्रोथ के लिए, so it takes about 7 years for a plant to be matured. तो उसके लिए कनाडा एंड स्वीडन में प्लांटेशन है. वियतनाम में भी थे थोड़े बहुत, बट नाउ वी हैव रैप्ड इट अप. सो द बेसिक क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस हेल्प दिस प्लांट टू ग्रो एंड मैच्योर. एंड फिर वो 2 या 3 ब्रीड प्लांट के जो है उसको मिला के फाइबर्स बनते हैं.
Looking to the present international scenario, is it not the worth evaluating the alternative for Indian?
Yes, so that we are evaluating. So we are in fact paper और viscose fiber दोनों का पल्प बहुत सिमिलर होता है, रॉ मटेरियल. सो पेपर जहाँ पे बनता है, जिस पल्प से बनता है, पेपर भी यूकेलिप्टस ट्री, बीचवुड ट्रीज, मेपलवुड ट्रीज, ये सब के कॉम्बिनेशन से बनता है. तो इंडिया पर से इज क्लाइमेटिकली अगर कर्नाटका और वहाँ पे है तो ठीक है. तो वहाँ पे हम लोग वी आर स्टार्टिंग टू डेवलप अ न्यू सप्लाई चेन फॉर रॉ मटेरियल्स एज इन द पल्प. बट ट्रेडिशनली इट वाज ऑलवेज बेस्ड इन कनाडा एंड स्वीडन. And it is our company only. We call it Aditya Birla Terrace Bay. So Terrace Bay Canada में है, तो वहाँ पे है pulp and plantations also. So what you are saying is perfectly right, sir. कि freight cost जो है, global freight cost are rising day by day. It has almost gone up by 38% vis-a-vis last 3 years. But yes, that's the truth of life. क्योंकि इतने hectares plantations लगाना, and whenever we plant, it would take about 7 years.
That will give you added advantage of the hardening carbon credit.
Yes, it will. So we are working towards it कि कितनी पेपर मिल्स है, जैसे ITC है या सेंचुरी पेपर मिल्स है, तो वो उनका पल्प सोर्सिंग कहाँ से हो रहा है, एंड इंडिया में कैसे कर सकते हैं. दैट वी आर ऑलरेडी वर्किंग ऑन द strengthening the back-end supply chain. But yeah, it's a very valid point. कि globally, whenever your raw materials are sourced from a global supply chain, or even countries like Canada or maybe America now with huge tariffs, almost 50% as per today's news, it becomes very, very challenging as a scenario for an Indian company to export and survive. If we are
Most importantly, the present geopolitical situations will probably force you to think in that direction.
Yes, but if you see, अभी जो US के sanctions लगे 25% and now it is 50% on the garment. India has never been a great garment supplier. ठीक है, न्यूज़ में जो भी दिखा रहे हो, India has never been very, very capable on garment supply. It has always been a fabric, yarn spinning. तो yarn spinning में of course problem होगी, but then India doesn't supply direct yarns to America. End product जा रहा है अमेरिका में, so impact होगा, of course होगा, but I'll say न्यूज़ में थोड़ा ज़्यादा आ रहा है.
But point here is today it is America, tomorrow we don't know which
Absolutely.
country will behave how.
Yeah.
Because situation is very volatile.
And most of the garmenting, यानी कि हम अगर यहाँ से भी फैब्रिक सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, most of the garmenting happens in China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, a bit of Turkey. तो आप कुछ भी करें, ये चार में से कोई एक तो they'll come and disrupt the entire supply chain. So, but that's how textile has been working. So, in fact, whatever our political situations with Pakistan was our toughest competitor in cotton products. But अभी भी पाकिस्तान में जो भी सप्लाई हो रहा है, if not directly, it is going through Dubai. So अगर हम as in not us, so Birla has a very strong strategy of not supplying to nations who are not in the friendly grip. But बाकी जो भी है वो पाकिस्तान से सप्लाई कर ही रहा है. So that disruption scenario would be there. I mean, we can't escape it. But yeah, the raw material point is very, very valid, and we are working on it. कि कैसे इंडिया में इंडिजीनियस पल्प के जो सप्लायर्स हैं वो डेवलप करें. But it will take at least 4-5 years to develop that ecosystem of pulp supply from there. Yeah.
People buy the legal product.
Yeah.
So, is it possible to have this facility?
It will be only possible if it is Liva Eco. The third वाला है ना मैडम, उसमें ट्रेसर आता है. Liva में there is no tracer. Liva has become a value for money brand.
But as a consumer, I will be able to find this. I will be able to trace it.
Yes.
What kind of tag is there?
So it's a normal paper tag होता है, पर उसके पीछे QR कोड होता है. So वो QR कोड अभी global brands ने मांगा है, so we are supplying it to only global brands. India is still not trading because they'll not pay a 10 rupee, 15 rupee for a traceability or a sustainability. And in fact, we had developed a tag which अगर आप sew करो उसको, so every tag we used to give a pencil जिसमें आप अगर उसको if you sew that pencil, it comes up with a plant. Yeah. So that was the sustainability story. That was the marketing stint that we did for sustainable products. Okay, by the way, any questions you guys have? This is the water consumption level or yield per hectare. That viscose as a fiber consumes very less water vis-a-vis cotton. But आज के scenario में what is happening is that जो भी farmers cotton cultivate कर रहे थे, they are now moving towards the food chain. So vegetables और ये grow कर रहे हैं, McDonald's के आलू grow कर रहे हैं, right? So that becomes a very important key that cotton by 2030, so 2030 would become a deficit in India. So that is the projection that it will go by 30,000 tons per month would be the deficit. Deficit यानी मिलना कम हो जाएगा, राइट? ग्रो नहीं कर रहा है वो, कॉटन कल्टीवेशन ग्रो नहीं कर रही है इंडिया में. इंडिया वॉज प्राइमरीली अ कॉटन ग्रोइंग कंट्री. वी आर स्टिल नोन एज द बेस्ट कॉटन सप्लायर्स टू द वर्ल्ड, बट come 2030 will be a cotton deficit country because the farmers are moving to the food supply chain. So then man-made cellulosic fibers, which is viscose, becomes all the more important because viscose is growing at 13% CAGR, cotton is growing at 4%. and cotton will probably start degrowing by 2030. So 2030 के बाद जो भी jobs create होगी वो viscose और जो new age fibers, even polyester is degrowing, but polyester is heavily dependent upon the petroleum industry. So polyester को ज़्यादा effect नहीं होगा because it is synthetic, तो production बढ़ा लेंगे, but cotton is natural. So by 2030 we will be cotton deficit by about 30,000 tons a month. So guys, am I making some sense, or I'll tune my presentation accordingly. If it is too much of data, please tell me. Okay, because this all is important in today's scenario, right? Apart from having a distinction in your grade, this is also important. Okay. How many of you are fourth year or third year? So I'll just put you an offer. जो भी ज़्यादा questions पूछेगा ना, तुमको internship मिलेगी. Right? How does that work? Okay. I can get you all an internship. Not all of you, of course. Select few. But and I'm not joking, guys. I'm serious. So right now I'm answering to your question. This is what category management looks like. A little complicated, but apart from, so we are here at the start of fag end of the value chain. But we also work with spinners on products, weavers for products and applications. Applications would be kurti, shirts, trousers, jackets, plazos, waistcoats, cord sets. लड़कों को पता है what is cord sets? पता है? Okay. लड़कियों को पता होगा, I'm sure. पर कितने लड़कों को पता है cord sets क्या होता है? Great. और किसी को? How many of you have a female friend? The boys. Go back and ask them. ठीक है? After this session or maybe after this day, ask them. Cord sets क्या होता है? जो एक जो होता है जो नाइट ड्रेस जैसा भी लगता है और पार्टियों में भी पहना जाता है. Right? So that is called cord sets. So whenever you see a cord set, there are about 20% chances that it would be from either modal, viscose or XL. Whenever you see a kurti, especially the girls up here, every third kurti made in India is from Birla Cellulose. Every third kurti. 3 kurti देखिए उसमें से एक जो है वो viscose rayon की होगी. Right? So this is how the marketing, market intelligence, category management and brand, they all work in extreme cohesiveness. So it is right up to the consumer, right? Category management is right up to the consumer. ये नहीं है कि आज production हो गया, आज हमने इतना टन produce कर लिया, quality अच्छी थी, we go back home happy. No. So for us it is what the consumer thinks, how he or she can buy it repeatedly, and how can we give world-class products to Indian consumer and the global consumers also. So answering traceability, sirs and ma'am, we have a forum called LIVA Accredited Partners Forum, wherein we register spinners and weavers and processors free of cost, without royalty, and give them technical assistance, branding support and marketing support. Right? So this, whenever you go to an industry which is manufacturing viscose or modal or XL or LIVA Eco, just check whether they are LIVA certified or not. We have more than 3,000 partners in India, the manufacturers, and about 348 brands that we have collaborated with in India and globally. Okay, so this is what application development looks like. पहले कुर्ती से पहले it was all sarees, as Mankodi madam was also asking. Sarees से how do we entice the women consumer for buying more of a newly developed product application? So that is where people like us come into the picture. We develop a product, we market it, we ensure कि पूरी supply chain sorted है, and then we launch a brand, an ingredient brand along with a mother brand. So ingredient brand पता है किसी को what is ingredient brand? Okay. Intel Inside पता है? आपके लैपटॉप्स इसमें आता है Intel Inside लिखा हुआ होता है, right? So Intel Inside is an ingredient brand. लैपटॉप डेल का होगा, HP का होगा, IBM के आते थे. But Intel Inside was a chip. So that chip is called ingredient chip. And that brand of Intel Inside is called ingredient brand. So likewise for here in textiles, Liva, which I don't know how many of you have heard of, Liva is an ingredient brand. So हमारा fiber जाता है fabrics में, garments में, yarn में. But we are a part of the ingredient. We are not the brand. We are not the mother brand. So अगर West Side, Pantaloons, Zudio, ये सब में अगर fabric viscose rayon का है and हमारा tag लगा हुआ है, तो Zudio और West Side would be the mother brand and ours would be the ingredient brand. ठीक है, clear?
That means you prepare the garments or I mean,
No,
the
so
garment
what we
what
do
is your
is,
role in that?
yeah, so our role is the brand. So raw material, but branding that raw material so that the end consumer asks for it. So जैसे कि yarn बनाया, ठीक है? तो fiber, the first transaction and the last transaction is yarn तक है. तो वो yarn बना, फिर yarn spinners को we got them business by connecting them to the weavers. We have a database of about 9,500 weavers. तो वो weavers को connect करा. Weavers ने वही fiber infused yarn से fabric बनाया. वो fabric को market किया हमने brands को. जब brands ने वो fabric लिया through this certified value chain, तब हमने वो garment को tag किया as Liva. So that is how we are running. It's a long drawn process. It's a 6-month chain which is being followed. But that hits directly the consumers. Okay, lyocell, anybody of you have heard? Okay, great. So lyocell primarily it was a 3rd generation fiber, but अभी तक globally and India में use नहीं हो रहा था ज़्यादा. But we have also expanded the capacities here in India, and in the next by 2027 we have an additional capacity of about 3,000 tons a month. Currently it is about the same 2,500 a month, tons a month. But lyocell is the fiber of future. Right? So whatever applications that you see, अब धीरे धीरे it is complementing cotton. So जैसे मैंने कहा कि cotton would be deficit by 2030, lyocell would start taking its place in India and globally also. Even China is expanding on the lyocell capacities. So of course China is 3 times than us, but then they are expanding onto the lyocell capacities. ये 20s 30s क्या लिखा है anybody? just checking whether people are awake or not. Sorry?
Which is final.
अभी इतना नहीं करना चाहिए. Because I see a part of myself in them. So linen सबको पता है ना? So linen के साथ XL blend किया जा रहा है अभी. So there is a good 50% chance that if you are buying a linen, though the shopkeeper will tell you that it is 100% linen, it would have a 30-40% lyocell content in it because it looks the same, behaves like cotton. And अगर okay, slub किसी को पता है? What is slub? So XL slub has got an almost similar look to cotton slub or a linen slub. So या तो XL warp में okay, warp weft तो पता है ना? वो technical है. So that is not something which has come from the market. So warp में अगर 100% linen और weft में it is 100% lyocell slub. मोटा मोटी सेम ही दिखेगा. Right? So most of us are being played around with products, but that's the future. Right? Linen भी okay, linen कौन से plant से आता है?
कौन सा फैमिली का फाइनल?
कौन सी फैमिली का है? नेचुरल तो है, तो पता है ना? Sorry? Anybody else? A little louder. Don't worry, there are no wrong answers. Okay, that's correct.
One more thing over here. Still, I can see the viscose fiber, which is a category. Still, it is not independent. Means what I'm trying to say, 100%.
No, it is not. It is. So, out of, I'll give you a perspective. Out of 2,000 tons per day, जो हमारा production है, almost 940 tons per day goes into 100% viscose fabric. 100% viscose fabric running at 1000 RPM on air engines. But the supply chain, as in the manufacturing chain, is all based in Europe. So that is probably we as the in the western part of India, we don't have a brush with that supply chain.
Yeah.
So 1000 RPM, 1100 RPM पे viscose चल रहा है, 30s viscose, and it constitutes of almost 50% of our production, as in consumption of production.
But is it a conventional rayon?
हाँ, normal
It's
viscose,
normal.
yeah, viscose rayon.
2.5 GPD one.
हाँ, so and 1.2 denier.
2.2.
So
Earlier, whatever the problem for going for 100% viscose is almost eliminated.
yeah, completely, not all, completely. जो एक तो viscose की weight strength बहुत कम है. So yeah, but that has been completely eliminated. थोड़ा बहुत हमने भी tweaking किया था fiber में. And बाकी supply chain में over a period of time, they have mastered the art of manufacturing 30s viscose fabric. So जितनी भी कुर्तीज है इंडिया में, 90% of that कुर्ती जो viscose rayon की है, उसमें से 90% में 30s viscose by 30s viscose, warp and weft. And 68 by 64 would be the EPI, and 63 inches would be the grey between, unfinished grey. Of course, it shrinks a lot, about 12 to 14% shrinkage है, but 100% viscose चल रहा है. XL भी 100% चल रहा है, but अभी तक वो ये नहीं आया है. The industry has not adapted it completely. So that is why it is mostly in blends. Yeah.
About ourselves, is it being produced in India or
Yes.
are we importing it also?
No, it's completely being produced in India.
So it's like not a premium fiber but for mass consumption is it, right?
No, so it is a premium fiber. It is a third generation fiber. Viscose was the first generation fiber. Lyocell and XL, जो हमारा brand name है, that is the third generation fiber. and we produce about 2,800 tons per month in India, and it is getting consumed completely in India. And an additional capacity of 3,000 tons is being worked upon. 2027 that it would be up and ready in India, in Karnataka. So currently हमारा latest lyocell का जो plant है, that is in Kosambal. That is the latest plant. वो तो कब से तो पहला नागदा में था, but then we improved upon the technology, and then अभी इधर है वो up and running and almost 2800 में से 2000 टन पर month बनता है. And उसमें we will probably in a year or two will come up with no fibril and low fibril versions also. So lyocell as a fiber has got a little fibrillation. Anybody have heard of fibrillation? वो ऐड देखी थी, 2 मुहे बाल स्प्लिट हो जाते हैं बाल, right? So fibrillation is similar to what that ad used to say of sunsilk. कि आपके 2 मुहे बाल का something कुछ तो ये है. Fibrillation is like split edge. So surface में ऐसा surface में थोड़ा बहुत रुए तो नहीं, रुए is spilling, but fibrillation creates a kind of I'll say velvety effect on the fabric, which at times might not be desirable for some of the brand. Feel अच्छा होता है, but थोड़ा सा उसको velvety दे देता है. तो अगर print करना हो तो then it becomes very difficult. But now that problem is solved, but we are also coming up with a new versions of no fibril and low LOW, low fibril. These are some products. Sir, can anybody bring those products that I have? पॉली विस्कोस ब्लेंड्स किसी को पता है? सीवी पता है? Okay, so see, normally क्या होता है that we as in not only MSc University, most of the textile technology colleges apart from except Bhilwara teaches you the cotton chain, cotton supply chain or cotton manufacturing chain. There's a polyester and viscose blending which happens big time in Bhilwara. Bhilwara पता है किसी को? राजस्थान में है. So Bhilwara में most of the spinning mills blend 70% of polyester and 30% of viscose dope dyed. Dope dyed, how many of you know? Okay. Anybody from this side of? Okay. So dope dyed, okay. Yarn dyed पता है किसी को? Dyeing of yarn. Piece dyed, fabric को जो piece dyeing करते हैं, right? So dope dyed is something which is done at a very nascent stage when the fiber is getting manufactured. जो pulp आता है, viscose comes is getting manufactured from wood pulp. Wood pulp में color डालते हैं. जब wood pulp आता है यहाँ पे इंडिया में हमारे पास, wood pulp को dissolve करके we put in colors, and that is called dope dyed viscose. So that color is called dope dyeing. That technology is called dope dyeing, and the product is called dope dyed viscose. Dope dyed के advantages ये है, because the color goes into the core of the fiber, there are lesser chances of getting the fabric getting faded. Fabric withstands washing, washing fasteners for about 150 washes. Right? So that's dope dyed technology, and most of you, if any one of you is wearing a formal pant, mostly formal pants में polyviscose blend use होता है. Right? Just show you. Can anybody come? So these are the colors which are being manufactured by us, right? So ये सत्यजीत सर के कैबिन में रखा है. If you guys want to just have a look, whenever you want to have a look. Because there are 72 colors which are being manufactured by us via dope dyed. This is a seasonal collection. So India में seasons होते हैं, rainy season आ गया, summer आ गया, winter आ गया. But when you are dealing with export markets or when you are dealing with brands, we have only two collections: spring, summer, and autumn, winter. So 4 season होती है normally, उसको 2 में convert करते हैं. And these are the fabrics which are developed by us as design team, keeping in mind the global trends, keeping in mind the future fibers. So और 6 महीने में हम लोग ये collection develop करते हैं. So we are in 2025, but this collection is 2026. 1.5 साल पहले, 1.5 year before is how these collections are churned. Right? So I'll just circulate it. You be whenever you guys want to. देख के you can just circulate it.
B3 product development.
Okay, ये 26 का है. So these are the trend books that we publish. Right? So ये सारा literature और samples सब रखे हैं सत्यजीत सर के इसमें. This is a new concept called recycling. Guys have heard of recycling?
Yes.
Okay. So, can anybody tell what is recycling? Don't worry, there are no wrong answers. चलेगा?
What is recycling?
टेक्सटाइल में क्या है recycling? हिंदी में बोलिए, गुजराती में बोलिए. Correct. So, what's your name? Avish. Good. So, what your friend said is correct. That any product which is used or not used, but then it is recycled or remade into a product is called recycling. So we have a state-of-art recycling facility newly inducted in Nagda, which is in Madhya Pradesh. We do a post-consumer (PCW), post-consumer waste and pre-consumer waste. दो टाइप के होते हैं. We do the pre-consumer waste recycled products. So pre-consumer waste is something which is done on जब garment technology सबके लिए ना. Okay. So the students of garment technology, जो जब garment produce होता है and जो rags and chindis बच जाते हैं after cutting और manufacturing, उसको हम लोग एक agency के through we buy it primarily of only cotton waste. We shred it, we spin it into a recycled yarn, and उसमें हम लोग 20% or 30% depending upon customers' requirement, we mix virgin products, as in virgin viscose or virgin lyocell. So that is what is called recycled yarn, and we have named it Reviva. Right? So Reviva is the recycled name. उसका भी एक catalog है which you can refer and search carry. So this is also part of the category management, that we uplift the textile clusters of India by giving them technical know-how, by giving them marketing support, by giving them orders from the brands or from the local market. So, ये बालोतरा का किसी ने सुना है? Baroda is 1 hour from Jodhpur, 1.5 hour from Jodhpur. But it is a huge textile fabric processing hub. So we go to these hubs, जो जिनके नाम भी नहीं सुने हमने, and we try and uplift those clusters, and in turn the Indian economy as well. So that how can indigenous products be processed or be made at their facility. Tanda, has anyone heard of? Lucknow के पास है. Huge hub. Power looms है, but it is huge consumption that Tanda has. Ichal Karanji, किसी को पता है? So Ichal Karanji, Kolhapur पता है, right? So Kolhapur से it is 30 minutes. Ichal Karanji is a huge cotton weaving hub. Solapur पता है. Solapur has become one of the biggest garmenting hubs for kids' uniforms, school uniforms. So ये सब, every hub we go to, we map it, and then we give them services which are free of cost or without any royalty. This is to uplift the Indian textile value chain. ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, wholesalers, retailers, just skip this slide. Cord set, you need not ask your friends, girl who are friends. Cord set ऐसा दिखता है, ये नाइट ड्रेस जैसा दिख रहा है वो, which is worn in parties, but looks like a nightwear. Stretch pants, I don't know, the ladies, have you worn a stretch pant, leggings, a stretch pant? There's a good possibility that it would have a viscose along with a cotton spandex. Okay, now coming to the marketing part. These are all our partner brands which are available on Myntra, Amazon, Flipkart, Ajio, LimeRoad शायद बंद हो गया. So guys, the marketing goes till the consumer, right? The production goes till the technical parts, but marketing goes still right in the hearts of consumer. So if you have to develop a brand, if you have to develop a product, it is very, very important that you reach the end of the value chain, which are consumers. These are some of the exhibitions that we participate in India and globally, of course. You have heard of Premier Vision? Premier Vision. Premier Vision is a textile exhibition which is done in Paris every year. So, वहाँ पे global trends, mostly global trends वहाँ पे display होते हैं. And most of the big companies from India and world over, they participate. So Premier Vision, we are present. We are present in TexWorld Paris, TexWorld US also. So all these are important tools of being or showing our presence in India and global also. So अगर globally नहीं जा सकते, at least जो मुंबई में exhibitions होते हैं या दिल्ली में यान एक्सपो होते हैं, I would urge all of you at least 2 दिन के लिए जाइए, ठीक है? अगर हमारा स्टॉल होगा तो we'll ensure that somebody will accompany you at least for 2-3 hours and explain you. And that's very important, that how the world or how India showcases their products. We also have boardings in India, of course. This Satyajeet sir and me were discussing just about half an hour back. We have signed MOUs with, these are few listed, but we have signed MOUs with 18 colleges on giving lectures, campus recruitments and internships. Okay guys, any questions? Yes.
Well, Birla Cellulose is not focused in denim industry.
It does. So we are a fiber company essentially. But denim, there are two fibers which are very, very relevant to denim industry. One is polyester, another is cotton. Right? XL, lyocell fits into the denim so-called requirements. So अब हमने denim mills को fiber देना शुरू किया है, lyocell, XL का fiber. But denim in India, while we are all, most of us are wearing denims, denims per capita consumption in India is 0.2. 0.2 pairs for the entire year. Okay, so, and global consumption is, as in US consumption is about 6.6. Europe is about the same. China is about 5.2, 5.3. तो जहाँ बाकी सब लोग 5 पेयर खरीदते हैं, and average Indian only buys 0.2. यानी 5 साल में एक जींस खरीदता है, मोटा बोल.
Is it good to buy more?
So that's a tricky question. One is that are we recycling enough? We as Earth or we as human beings, we are not. So most of the textile waste goes into landfills. But the concept of circularity has come from giving back to Mother Earth. But how can we can't stop anyone from buying. But at least if we can recycle that waste and create a circular system, it would be good. But we can't stop the industrialization as well as the buying also.
So in a way we are helping sustainability.
We are helping the companies which certify sustainability. Right.
So another thing what I feel in India, there are more variety you will find. See, like
Yes.
color wise, quality wise, material wise, and that's why today maybe one person is buying 5 pants, one jeans, another formal trouser, something like a jockey and all that, whatever.
Right.
All are different, but they are buying 5. So maybe according to that, jeans consumption is not.
So yeah, you are correct. But what happens is that if I tell you a comparison between China and us in terms of production and products, China is mainly known for huge bulk quantities of oil. India is known for specializations and value additions. So what you are saying is correct कि हम लोग एक जैसा पैंट या शर्ट या ड्रेस या ये नहीं पहनना चाहेंगे, अलग अलग वेराइटी पहने. बट इंडिया में so minimum order quantities are very very less. So for example अगर किसी को yarn dyed shirtings बनानी है तो it would be 1200 meters. 1200 मीटर का ऑर्डर दिया तो इंडिया वाले बना पाएंगे. चाइना it runs almost about 10-15,000 meters. उसके नीचे वो लोग ऑर्डर नहीं देते. And China's way of selling is completely different. It is like होगा तो बिकेगा. So they will manufacture it first and then go out and sell. Whereas in India, it is like we order दो और फिर हम लोग manufacture करेंगे. That is why Indian lead times for textiles are very very high. Because there is a lot of customization. There is a lot of कि अच्छा मुझे ये लाल वाला ये मेरा वाला blue चाहिए. China में there is no मेरा वाला blue. ये है. These are the blues that we have manufactured.
We are more customer oriented.
Yeah.
And also fashion conscious also. China is also well fashion conscious,
Yeah.
but more colorful. I
So
guess.
that is why China supplies more to US and we supply more to European Union. Because European Union has got this customization, boutique orders, छोटे छोटे हैं.
Yes.
So We are fashion driven, but China is much bigger. Yeah, yes.
So what are the percentage that recyclable material will come in?
Hardly a percent, 1%, 1 to 2% मैक्सिमम जो रिसाइकलिंग में आएगा वो ना. जैसे अगर 100 किलोज मैन्युफैक्चर किया है या 100 मीटर्स मैन्युफैक्चर किया है तो हार्डली 1 मीटर रिसाइकल होगा.
And what, from where, which sources do you get that?
So that there's an agency, there are certified agencies which will help you to customize your buying. So for example, हम लोग जो recycle PCW pre-consumer waste खरीदते हैं, we don't buy waste which is of synthetic fibers or synthetic fabric. यानी पॉलिस्टर या नायलॉन का वेस्ट नहीं लेते हम लोग, सिर्फ 100% कॉटन का वेस्ट लेते हैं, प्लस माइनस 1%, बिकॉज अगर स्टिचिंग में वो पॉलिस्टर या नायलॉन थ्रेड आया तो दैट इज ओके, बट 99% इट शुड बी कॉटन. तो वो एजेंसीज जो है वो those guys certify that this is 100% कॉटन का वेस्ट. एंड वी ओनली डील विद प्री कंज्यूमर. पोस्ट कंज्यूमर भी आता है. पोस्ट कंज्यूमर यानी आप लोगों ने जैसे आपने टी शर्ट पहनी है, आपने पहन ली, फिर आपने कहीं वेस्ट में डाल दी, उसका श्रेड करके जो बनाते हैं, बट दैट गोज मोस्टली इनटू द कारपेट इंडस्ट्री. जो आप रग्स देखते हैं ना, रग्स इज मोस्टली मैन्युफैक्चर्ड बाय योर पोस्ट कंज्यूमर वेस्ट.
So what are the chances that the seasonal designs or the products you develop will get cancelled or will not come in the market?
So there is a good chance. So that is, there is something called adoption rate. So adoption rate is कि अगर हमने 100 products develop किए तो कितने products adopt होते हैं इंडिया में या ग्लोबल में. The normal average is about 10 to 15%. So अगर 100 डिजाइन या 100 कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप करूंगा, there is a good chance कि 10 to 15 concepts or designs would be adopted. Rest might go waste or rest might get adopted in the next year or in the next year or maybe a decade later.
Have you deal with that or develop the which are been rejected?
So हम लोग we have it in our library. So we have more than some 5,000 products in a facility called TRADC. So that's Technical Research Application Development Center, which is in Kosamba. So वहाँ पे if you guys can just have a day's workshop there, we can show you what are the designs, products, कैसे develop होते हैं. There is the pilot spinning plant. There are 4 machines, weaving machines. There is 1 circular machine. There is 1 flat knitting machine. There is small processing facility. There is a small digital printing available. There is testing lab and there is a small garmenting office. And there is a fabric library which houses about more than 5,000 designs. तो वो सब हम लोग archives में maintain करते हैं.
Does this waste goes for regeneration process or
लैंडफिल्स में जाता है.
हाँ?
लैंडफिल.
ये आप लोग जो कलेक्ट करते हो,
हाँ.
उस वेस्ट को
तो उस वेस्ट को हम लोग श्रेड करते हैं सब पहले, एंड फिर स्पिनिंग में यानी कि स्पिनिंग लाइन है उसमें बेलो कलर में डाल के उसके साथ ही वर्जिन एक्सेल या वर्जिन
तो रिजर्वेशन प्रोसेस में नहीं जाते, डिसॉल्यूशन
नहीं, इसलिए हम लोग प्री कंज्यूमर वेस्ट लेते हैं. तो उसको फिर डाइल्यूट करके तो दैट्स मैकेनिकल रिसाइकलिंग. जो आप कह रहे हो केमिकल रिसाइकलिंग है तो वो भी होता है, बट अभी तक हम लोग शुरू नहीं किया. सो देयर इज अ प्रोसेस दैट वी हैव. तो वो जब अगर केमिकल रिसाइकलिंग होगा तो वो हमारे पल्प के साथ मिक्स होगा.
सर आप बोले स्टार्टिंग में कि जो ट्रीज होता है वो 7 to 8 ईयर में कट जाता है, और लास्ट ईयर एक सेमिनार हुआ था बिरला पे, वो सर बोल रहे थे 15 to 18 ईयर लगता है करके. तो आपको मैच्योर का पता कैसे चलता है कि इन
So see, normal cycle is about 7 to 8 years, right? And if you analyze a tree, right? So there are a lot of questions regarding कि आप trees को cut कर रहे हो तो how are you benefiting the environment? Right? A normal tree starts losing its capability and capacities to filter the air after 10 years. सो 10 साल के बाद जो हम जो ये पीपल के पेड़ की भी पूजा कर रहे हैं, ये सब कर रहे हैं, राइट. सो बट एनवायरमेंट के लिए इट स्टार्ट लूजिंग इट्स एबिलिटी टू चर्न आउट ऑक्सीजन. सो 10 साल के बाद वो ट्री सो कॉल्ड बूढ़ा होने लगता है. सो उसके बाद हम लोग जो कुछ भी करें, इट इज अल्टीमेटली टू ग्रो न्यूअर ट्रीज. ऐसा नहीं कि हम एक बार ट्री कट कर दिया तो वहाँ पे फिर कुछ नहीं है. वी रीप्लांट द ट्रीज एंड दिस प्रोसेस गोज ऑन बिकॉज a normal tree would take about 7 years, but हमारा प्रोडक्शन तो रोज ही चल रहा है, राइट. सो एक बार कट कर दिया तो दूसरे दिन क्या बनाएंगे. सो इट्स अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस.
और सर कितना दिन लगता है पेड़ कटने के बाद फाइबर प्रोडक्शन तक?
सो सी नॉर्मली पेड़ कटने के बाद वहाँ पे जो पल्प प्लांट्स है, दे डिजॉल्व दैट वुड बार्क जो कहते हैं ट्री का, उसको डिजॉल्व करके दे मेक थर्मोकोल शीट्स. हैव यू सीन थर्मोकोल शीट्स? उसके जैसी एक वाइट कलर की शीट्स रेडी होती है जो पल्प की हो. इट इज हार्डन्ड पल्प. वो शीट्स सारी एक प्रॉपर इसमें कंटेनर्स में यहाँ आती है एंड इट टेक्स अबाउट 24 days इन अ कंटेनर टू रीच इंडिया बाय सी. सो अगर बाय सी से वो 24 दिन के बाद आती है तो देयर इज अ गुड चांस कि 30 और 35th डे इट विल बी टेकन इनटू प्रोडक्शन. And the normal development cycle जो इंडस्ट्री में प्रेवलेंट है. हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ डेस्क लूम? राइट. सो डेस्क लूम इज समथिंग कि अगर कोई बायर पूछ रहा है कि ये कैसे दिखेगा डिजाइन, तो यहाँ पे जो आप यूज्ड टू मेक फैब्रिक स्ट्रक्चर के क्लास में हैंडलूम्स. सो हैंडलूम इज अ डेस्क लूम.
CCI का है.
हाँ, CCI है ना. तो CCI इज अ डेस्क लूम. तो उसको डेस्क लूम कहते हैं 8x8 इंच
सैंपल
वॉच.
सैंपल.
So desk loom sample is what it is called. So desk loom sample takes the normal lead time is about 7 to 10 days. So if a garment brand is placing you a sample order saying कि इतने मेरे को desk looms चाहिए, 15 चाहिए, 20 चाहिए, तो each desk loom will take about 7 to 10 days. Each yardage would be 30 meters, 30. नॉर्मली ब्रांड्स क्या करते हैं कि इतना इजी नहीं कि ये डिजाइन देखी और बल्क पे चले गए. दे लाइक फर्स्ट अप्रूव अ डेस्क लूम, देन दे विल आस्क फॉर प्रोटो सैंपल्स, गारमेंट SMS, सेल्समैन सैंपल्स. तो वो 30 मीटर्स जो है वो सैम्पलिंग पे बनता है. उसके गारमेंट्स बनते हैं. उसके गारमेंट्स में there is the wall of selection. गोज ऑन अ वॉल ऑफ सिलेक्शन. ऐसे एक वॉल होती है जहाँ पे ये सारे गारमेंट पिन होते हैं. उसमें से जो डिज़ाइन टीम है वो जाके सिलेक्ट करती है. तो दैट इज द प्रोसेस बिगिंस अ ईयर बिफोर. यानी कि राइट नाउ एज वी स्पीक द ब्रांड्स वुड बी वर्किंग ऑन स्प्रिंग समर 26. इनफैक्ट स्प्रिंग समर तो क्लोज हो गया होगा. ऑटम विंटर दिसंबर 26 की तैयारी शुरू होगी. And fabric manufacturing lead time is 60 days. 60. Garment lead time is about 15 days. 15. In DC, as in distribution center, it is about 10 to 15 days depending upon location. In DC यानी अब जैसे Zudio है, so Zudio ने ऑर्डर दिया है 1 लाख पीसेस का. उसमें से 20,000 has to be shipped to Baroda. So they'll have an in DC either at Surat or in Baroda or at Vapu. So in DC and फिर उनका distribution warehouse होगा. वहाँ से it would go to Zudio. जैसे Inox में अगर Zudio है तो वहाँ जाने के लिए it would take about a week's time. Yes.
सर एक यहाँ जो बिरला प्रोड्यूस करती है, बिरला इसको सीको उसको बॉम्बो यान भी से भी जानते हैं सर, उसमें एंटीबैक्टीरियल प्रॉपर्टीज इनबिल्ट होती है या नहीं होती?
यस. सो बैम्बू बेसिकली इज एंटीबैक्टीरियल. and it has inherent antibacterial properties. So couple of years back, एक denim company ने ये market किया था that if you have a denim which is made from bamboo, आप उसको धोने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप उसको एक नॉर्मल पॉलीथीन में डाल के उसको वो पॉलीथीन को बंद करके if you put it in fridge, नॉर्मल आपका फ्रिज, 2 दिन के बाद उसको आप वापस पहन सकते हैं because it will recover.
But sir, if I am using as a antibacterial, तो मैं ऐसे यूज कर सकता हूँ. मीन्स कि एक मेरा प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है जिसमें मुझे एंटीबैक्टीरियल प्रॉपर्टीज लानी है एंड प्रोडक्ट में, तो मैं ऐसा सोच रहा हूँ कि उसको एंटीबैक्टीरियल के तौर पे यूज करूँ, बाम्बू रियोन यान को, तो मैं यूज करूँ या नहीं करूँ?
So it has got inherent properties, but most of the world it goes into coated antibacterial properties only, and then most of the fabrics which are available for consumption ये antibacterial है, उसमें कोटिंग, केमिकल कोटिंग की जाती है. Bamboo is a naturally, yeah, so bamboo is a naturally antibacterial, but बाकी सब जो है वो कितना कोटिंग करते हैं और कितने वॉश तक वो वैलिड रहता है. नॉर्मली एनी कोटिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस एंटीबैक्टीरियल और सिल्क फिनिश और ये 5-6 वॉश तक नॉर्मली वैलिड है. Yes.
With such a high rate of production every single day in tons, so the carbon emissions must also be pretty high.
We are only 6% of India's production. So our fiber market share in India overall in the entire fiber basket is about 6 to 7%. Rest all is petroleum products.
What is the ratio of the growth of the plants and your production? So, do you grow same or more plants as you consume?
We grow more plants.
More. You say
Because
more than one.
Yeah. So normally 1:3 as a ratio.
So 3 times you grow. Because you are expanding also. That's why.
So this is how the ratio is.
11%.
That includes import also. So 7% हमारा शेयर, बाकी 2-3% imports आते हैं. But if you see polyester, it has about 38% market share. But ये 10% में से 7% हमारा.
सर अगर हमारा जो पेड़ है वो 7 साल हो गया है उसको, तो अभी हमने उसको एक बार कट किया तो उसका स्ट्रेस ज़्यादा रहेगा, या फिर हम 14th ईयर में पेड़ को कट करेंगे उसका स्ट्रेस ज़्यादा रहेगा यहाँ का? सर मीन्स अभी हमने एक पेड़ लगाया, सर हमने उसको कट किया और सर उसका हमने यान बनाया, और एक पेड़ वो है, उसी पेड़ को हमने 14 साल में जब हुआ उसको कट किया, तो सर उसका स्ट्रेस ज़्यादा रहेगा कि 7 ईयर वाले का स्ट्रेस ज़्यादा रहेगा?
The more old the so called आपका जो पेड़ जितना पुराना होगा ना, वो इतना ज़्यादा, see it might lose its ability to filter air, right? But normally 14 साल तक हम लोग वो पेड़ रखते ही नहीं.
इसका सवाल ये है, डिग्री ऑफ पॉलीमराइजेशन जो बढ़ेगा वो 7 साल वाले में और 14 साल वाले में क्या डिफरेंस रहेगा?
It would not be much of a difference in terms of, because see your basic ingredient जो आपका सेल्यूलोज है वो मोटा मोटी सेम ही रहेगा.
मैच्योर होगा.
हाँ,
जब
मैच्योर हो गया
बढ़ेगा नहीं. तो 14 साल तक क्यों उसको रखते?
जो ये भाई सब रखना चाहते हैं.
यंगस्टर के ऊपर कोई इफेक्ट नहीं आएगा?
हाँ
नहीं है, वही तो डीपी कांस्टेंट हो जाएगा कुछ सालों के बाद. 7-8 साल के बाद डीपी ग्रो ही नहीं होगा. क्यूआर सब लोग स्कैन कर लो और फीडबैक अपना करो कि नेक्स्ट टाइम बुलाना है कि नहीं, है ना?
नेक्स्ट टाइम इंटर्नशिप चाहिए कि नहीं, प्लेसमेंट चाहिए कि नहीं. वन नाउ इट इज वन.
सब लोगों को करना है.
चलो प्लीज
फोटो में सब लोग आ गए, हम लोग बाद में नाम मंगवाएंगे कितनों ने भरा.
Any more questions? You can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. My name is Ankur Thorat and LinkedIn also has the same name. ईमेल मैं इसलिए ईमेल और फोन नंबर नहीं दे रहा हूँ, नहीं तो सीरीज आने शुरू होंगे. Let it get filtered through Satyajeet sir. ठीक है. So, but I'll ensure that I'll reply within 48 hours. I'll try to. अगर नहीं है तो please again you are please feel free to ping me back again. How many of you have a LinkedIn account? Wow, very good, very very good. Everybody should have a LinkedIn account. It is very very important. Madam, this Okay, any more questions? You can scan the QR code. It will redirect you to a Google worksheet. Disme some basic questions. Just a quick question. So ये तो आज का सेमिनार तो ठीक है, but how would you like to have the future seminars? Should it be more technical? Should it be like this? Should it be which all topic है? So then we can instruct our team and my colleagues to restructure it that way. Was this a little heavy? Yeah. Please, I am open to honest feedback, guys.
सर पूरा प्रोडक्शन लाइन के ऊपर एक यूजर पे का बिल्ला
technically because eco-friendly fiber spinning. So what is the process? Which chemicals do you use? Likewise.
So just to give you context on this, Excel जो है, it is the most eco-friendly production setting. जो lyocell है, अभी जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो it is completely eco-friendly. विस्कोस में अभी भी H2SO4 और ये सब यूज हो रहा है, and spinning, fiber spinning. But Excel lyocell is completely. So that is the future. That's one of the reasons it is eco-friendly and sustainable, highly sustainable.
And eco-friendly along with high skill.
High skill. Even higher than cotton.
Higher than cotton.
So that is why it fits into denims also, and it fits into legally blended also. And उसकी जो हम लोग जो staple लेते थे, that is 38 है, तो मोटा मोटी cotton के आसपास ही है, so blending is relatively easy.
कर दिया सबने? ये पूरा करो, नहीं तो करेंगे नहीं.
Take a minute or two, भर लो ये feedback.
तो जैसे आप प्योर टेक्निकल पढ़ते हो, साथ साथ में देखो इलेक्ट्रिकल वाला भी कुछ पढ़ते हो, कॉमर्स वाला भी सब्जेक्ट पढ़ते हो, तो दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये आपको बाद में फ्यूचर में जब हायर लेवल पे जाते हो, आप उस फील्ड में काम करना चाहते हो, तो उसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्योंकि ऐसे कहते हैं कि ज़्यादातर सीईओ मार्केटिंग वाले ही होते हैं. जो कंपनीज के सीईओ बने हैं वो मार्केटिंग वाले ही बने, प्रोडक्शन वाले कम बने, बहुत कम, लेस देन 10% ही बने. तो आपको आगे जाके मैनेजमेंट में ही जाना है. शुरुआत के 5 साल आप टेक्निकल पढ़ो इंडस्ट्री में, बाद में आपको मैनेजमेंट में ही जाना है. फिर मैनेजर बनोगे तो वो कैटेगरी पूरी बदल जाएगी. तो टारगेट रखो कि इनिशियली टेक्निकल, लॉन्ग टर्म मैनेजमेंट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, वही आपकी लाइफ होगी. और ज़्यादा कमाना है तो मैनेजमेंट में ही पैसा है. प्रोडक्शन में कूदते रह जाओगे.
लॉन्गर, थोड़ा सा उसका ग्राफ लंबा है.
ग्रोथ
प्रोडक्शन में ऊपर आने के लिए थोड़ा ग्राफ लंबा है. सो कॉल्ड लीड टाइम इज अ लिटिल लॉन्गर.
To be an administrator.
Any more questions? अगर है तो please audience.
There are no more questions. So thank you, sir, for such an enlightening and engaging session. And our student would be definitely looking forward to meet you in the campus interviews as well as in future seminars. And definitely after hearing about the package, they will definitely work hard for grabbing that opportunity. Now, to conclude this event, I invite Dr. Sweety Agrawal, Assistant Professor, Department of Textile Engineering, to deliver vote of thanks.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Textile Engineering, am I audible? Yes. On behalf of Textile Engineering Department, I, Dr. Sweety Agrawal, will like to convey my thanks to Mr. Thorat. I think today I will tell Mr. Ankit. Next time it will be straight. For coming here because he is a very busy man. So taking our time from his busy schedule and coming here and sharing his knowledge for us here. It was also quite inspiring to hear from him that what work has been done at Aditya Birla and what type of work has been done in specifically Manmade Cellulosic Fibre. So we all, I'm sure that we have gained a little bit, quite a good knowledge, and also it is an eye opener to think about what after 10 years the future will be holding. So it will give us a brief idea about where to project ourselves in coming years wherever you are going to join. So you will have an idea that what will be your targets, when what type of field you should be going. Also it was quite inspiring to hear from him that how basically strategic management is taking place or what type of strategy is taking place in product categorization. So this was new to all of us, that how much work is done behind this, and also how the future in textile trends, which we have fashion trends, but to understand in an industry the textile trend, how to grab that trends much before it is going to come to the market. I think he has explained you very well. So thank you so much, Ankur, for coming here and giving us knowledge about this all. And we are quite happy also because you are quite willing to share all your knowledge, your journey about the Birla Cellulose also. I also want to thank the head of the department, Dr. Satyajeet Chaudhari sir, for his constant support and of course constant guidance on always how to make these expert talks successful even after my students run away. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you all the teachers for making themselves available here. Also I have to mention all the non-teaching staff also, because without their help it is not possible to make this arrangement. A special thanks to Sanjay.